Welcome back to another Pokemon Challenge. It's King Dong here, where today we find out if I can beat Pokemon Crystal with only one Magnemite. Pokemon Fire Red with only one Shelter was brutal, as we had to grind up for Misty, Surge, and of course, every time we battled him, our rival Crowden. But anyway, let's talk about Magnemite for a bit. The base stats for Magnemite are about average. Its HP is very low though, at 25, and it only has an attack of 35. But its special attack is great at 95. Magnemite doesn't have great coverage though, when it comes to moves that it learns by level up. It only learns normal and electric moves. And it's not much better for the TM coverage either. However, it can learn moves such as Toxic, Rollout and Rain Dance. And also Thunderbolt from the Move Tutor. However, we can't get this until after we beat the Elite Four. We have a few weaknesses, our main one being Ground, as we are 4 times weak to this, as well as Fire and Fighting types because of the Steel. As always, this is being written before I go through the challenge. This part, however, is being written before I start. How do you think I'll get on? I think I'm going to really struggle with Chuck's Fighting type and some of the Kanto gyms such as Blaine and Brock, as we are weak to Fire and obviously 4 times weak to Ground. I think I'm going to struggle with Blue and his Rhydon, but I will win. And I think I'll have to be at least level 100 to stand a chance against Red, especially with this Charizard. Let me know if you think I can win. The rules are only Magnemite to be used in battle, others to be used for HMs, no glitches or exploits, and no items in battle, except for held items and Pokeballs. Let's go. So, straight away as always, I've used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Chikorita with Magnemite, as Typhlosion would give us the greatest difficulty. I named Magnemite Max Dillon. It would have been Maximilian Dillon if it had fit, but Max do. Anyway, take a guess where the name's from. We start off our adventure as always and go and get the egg from Mr. Pokemon, and we also meet Professor Oak, who gives us a Pokedex. Now it's time for the first rival battle, and Max lands a critical Thunder Shock, leaving Cyndaquil in the red. And then it goes down to the next one. We then take the egg back to Professor Elm, and off we go to the first gym. But on our way we stop in to Sprout Tower, to get a couple of more levels just in case. And obviously get the HM for Flash. So now it's time for Faulkner. And thinking about it, I didn't actually need to go and get those extra levels, as we're an electric type, and we're super effective against flying. So as you can imagine, it's a one-shot sweep. After the gym, we head to the Pokemon Center to pick up the egg from Professor Elm's aide. Now it's time for Bugsy, and Max lands a Sonic Boom and a Thunder Shock, taking Metapod down. Next out is the Kakuna, and it goes down to the same moves. Last out is Scyther. 2 Thunder Shocks, and that goes down. It's now time for the second rival battle with Crowden, who starts off with Ghastly, and we one-shot it. But then Koalava comes out and destroys us. So what we do is we go and grind up to level 21 and learn Thunder Wave. We then return and get this run. We one-shot the Ghastly, and then Koalava lands a critical, super effective Ember, taking us down to just 10 HP. We land a Thunder Wave. We then outspeed and land a Thunder Shock, and he gets fully paralysed. We then land a critical Thunder Shock, getting us the knockout. And last out is Zubat, and that's a one-shot with another Thunder Shock. We then head to Goldenrod City and go and get Rollout. Then head to the gym and battle Whitney. We land a Rollout on Clefairy, but miss the next, and Clefairy uses Metronome and gets a Rock Slide. We land a Thunder Shock, one more and it's down. Next is Miltank. He uses Rollout as we use Thunder Wave. We then outspeed due to the paralysis and land a Sonic Boom. Miltank is fully paralysed, and we land 2 Thunder Shocks and a Rollout for the win. We then get to Ecruteak City and beat the Kimono Girls and get the HM for Surf. Next we head to the Burn Tower to face our rival, and we lose at level 30. So we grind up in the surrounding areas and then return at level 35. We then get the win and this is how we did it. Crowden starts off with Haunter. We outspeed and land a Thundershock, leaving it on red health and getting the paralysis. I roll out and it's down. Next out is Quilava. 2 rollouts and that's a knockout. Next is Magnemite and it's a one-shot rollout, and it's the same fate for Zubat. When we beat Crowden, we then fall through the floor and we find the 3 legendary dogs. Morty, the ghost type gym leader, is next, and first out is Ghastly, who is a one-shot with Thundershock. Haunter lives on the red with a Thundershock and 1 more and it takes it out. Next out is this Gengar. A Thundershock takes it to half health and 1 more and then that goes down. His last Haunter is up next, 2 Thundershocks and that goes down, giving us the win. Whilst in the fighting gym, we come across Black Belt Yoshi, who has a Hitmonlee, and it's a nightmare. We keep on losing to it, but we do get the win after a little grinding. But I did forget to record the winning battle, so I'm so sorry about that, guys. Anyway, it's now time for Chuck, and I'm super worried about this, as he is super effective against me after that Hitmonlee. But anyway, it goes really quite well. In fact, we win first time, and here's how. It went down. Primeape is out first, and we land a Thundershock for just over half health as we get hit by a Leer. 1 more Thundershock, and it goes down. And his last Pokemon is Poliwrath. 2 Thundershocks, and we get the win. We then pick up Fly from Chuck's wife outside the gym. We then get the medicine for Jasmine, and then head to the gym. And we lose to her so many times with her Magnemite and Steelix. It's this gym again that's causing us problems. So after about the 5th, 6th or 7th time of losing, I decide to move on to the Lake of Rage to start all the Team Rocket shenanigans. The hardest battle we had with Team Rocket was this, Rocket Executive. His first Pokemon was a Zubat, so that was a one-shot with Thundershock. His next Pokemon is Raticate, who tanks a Thundershock and lives on very low health. But 1 Sonic Boom and he's down. The last Pokemon is Coffin, who gets one shot by a Thundershock. When all the Team Rocket stuff is sorted, I decide to take on Jasmine again. And another 5 or 6 times we lose. So I've now decided to go and battle Price and see how we get on there. Price leads off with Seal, and we land a one-shot with Thundershock. Next out is Dugong. We miss a Zap Cannon, so decide to use a Thundershock. And it lives on the red health. 1 more and it goes down. Next out we have Piloswine, and it keeps on missing Blizzard as we miss a rollout. However, we land the next 3. Price uses a Hyper Potion as we then land another rollout, taking it out from full health, getting us the win. We then return to Jasmine and get this run. At last, Magnemite is out first, and we land a Thundershock as it misses a Thunder Wave. Thank the Pokemon gods! 1 more Thundershock and it's down. Steelix is out next, and all we have to hit this is Sonic Boom, as rollout does absolutely nothing. The amount of Iron Tails that it misses is absolutely amazing. Jasmine uses a Hyper Potion, and now we have Steelix back on full health. Great, that's going to be loads more Sonic Booms. We finally get it back down to the red, and I think, brilliant! 1 rollout, and that'll get us the knockout. But it actually takes 3. Out last is Magnemite, and a rollout lands and gets us the win, finally. We then go to the basement of the department store to battle Crowden. Again, he leads off with his Golbat, and 1 Thundershock and it's down. Next out is Quilava. We land a powerful Thundershock, and a second one takes it out. Next up is Magnemite. Another 2 Thundershocks, and then that goes down. Now we have Haunter, and it's a one-shot with Thundershock. Out last is Sneasel. Another 2 Thundershocks and we get the win. Extra Joey then calls to say don't forget to like and subscribe. Back to the radio tower. This was a lot easier than the last time we came here, and this is what happened against the Rocket Executive. Other than getting burned, it went so well. But anyway, it's now time for the final Johto Gym badge. Claire's Dragon Gym, and we lose so many times. So we're going to have to go and grind and come back at a higher level. We return at level 60. Claire has 3 Dragonairs, and the first one misses a Thunder Wave as we miss a Zap Cannon. But we land the next one, leaving it in the red, and Dragonair is fully paralysed. We miss a rollout, and it gets paralysed again. The rollout then lands, and now we have the second Dragonair. It lands a Dragon Breath as a second and a third rollout hits to get the knockout. It's time for the third Dragonair, and this is the one-shot with rollout. Last up is Kingdra, who is also a one-shot with the last rollout. Off to Victory Road and the last rival battle with Crowden. Sneasel is out first and we land a Thunder Shock for nearly a one-shot. It then lands a quick attack and we take it out with a rollout. Typhlosion is next out and we land the second rollout for just over 3/4 damage as it lands a Flame Wheel. The next rollout gets us the knockout. Next we have Magneton and we land a rollout and it lives on a Sliver. We then get paralysed with a Thunder Wave and it goes for a Sonic Boom, taking us to 70 HP. The next rollout knocks out Magneton and we have a Haunter to deal with. So we start off a new rollout. It lands twice and Haunter goes down. Next out is Kadabra. The third one lands and one-shots it. Last out is Golbat, who's also a one-shot with rollout, getting us the win. Now it's time for the Elite Four. Let me know if you think I can win. First up is Will, who starts off with his first Xatu. One Thunder Shock and it's down. Next out is Executor. We land 2 Thunder Shocks and get hit by a Psychic. We then land a Zap Cannon for the knockout. We then have the second Xatu. Again, another Thunder Shock. One shot. And we have Jinx up next. 2 rollouts and it's down. Last out is Slowbro. The last 2 rollouts gets us the win. I then use a Super Potion between battles as this is allowed in the rules. Next up is Koga. He starts off with Ariados. We start a rollout and land 3 for the knockout. Next out is Fortress. The 4th lands for about 1/4 health. It then uses Protect, so the 5th misses. I then miss a Zap Cannon and land a Thunder Shock, getting us the knockout. Up next is Venomoth. A Thunder Shock leaves it on just 1/4 health. One more Thunder Shock and it goes down. Next up is Muck. We land a Thunder Shock for about 1/4 health. It uses Acid Armor as we miss a Zap Cannon. It then uses Acid Armor again as we land another Thunder Shock, leaving it on red health. Muck uses Acid Armor again as we land a finishing Thunder Shock. Last out is Crobat. He uses Double Team and we one-shot with a Thunder Shock. We heal up and restore our power points and move on to Bruno. And he is a nightmare from hell. I've tried so many times, it's just not funny. And we need to grind up, as all of his Pokemon are super effective against us. His Hitmontop has Dig, and his Onix has Earthquake. Let's go grinding. So, we head into Victory Road and grind. This is a difficult and a long process, due to us not having any effective moves for any of the Pokemon in there, except for Golbat. But when we finally get to level 70, we go and try again. And we still lose to his team. So we go back to grinding until we hit level 80. I did forget to record this, but anyway, we still lose, even nearly 40 levels higher. So I'll replace Sonic Boom for Swagger and it helps a little bit. But we still lose over and over again. We have 2 rare candies. So I'll use them and grind up to level 85 and try again. We return at level 87 and it's still nowhere near enough. So we're going to head back to grinding. I've been grinding for what feels like a week and I've also had some worrying real life news at this point whilst I was grinding. But anyway, I finally have had enough of grinding. And I go and try Bruno again. We return at level 89. Bruno leads off with his Hitmontop. And we land a Thunder Shock. And it lives on 1 HP and uses Dig. So we miss our next attack. He then lands his Dig, doing a surprisingly low amount of damage to us. It then goes down to a rollout. Next up is Hitmonlee. 2 rollouts and it goes down. We then have Hitmonchan. It gets one shot by rollout. So next out is Machamp, who also gets one shot with rollout. Last is his Onix. We use a swagger to get the confusion, and it hits itself as we start another rollout, and it hits itself again, and we land the second rollout. It uses Earthquake and leaves us on 5 health. One last rollout, and we get the win at long last. We can finally move on, people. We heal up and move on to the last member, Karen, the Dark type trainer. She starts off with Umbreon. A Thunder Shock takes it to about half health as a second one knocks it out. Next is Houndoom, so we start a rollout for about half health and get slammed with a Flamethrower as the next rollout takes it out. Next up is Vileplume, who's a one-shot with rollout. We then have Gengar to deal with, but it's also a one-shot with rollout. Last is Murkrow, who goes down to the last rollout. Next up is the Pokemon champion, Dragon Master Lance. First out is Gyarados, who's a one-shot with Thunder Shock. Seems it's 4 times weak to electric. We then land a Zap Cannon on the first Dragonite and get a one-shot. Out next is Dragonite 2. We land a Thunder Shock for just over half health as it misses a Thunder Wave, so the next one takes it out. Now it's time for Dragonite number 3, who takes a Thunder Shock and gets paralysed, and then gets fully paralysed as we land the next Thunder Shock, getting the knockout. We have Charizard next, so I'm not going to lie, I am worried about this one. But we one-shot with rollout. Last is Aerodactyl, who also gets one shot, so we win. Max Dillon is then entered into the Hall of Fame. And we've done it! Well, nearly. I know you want to know if I can beat Blue and Red. Now it's time to head to Kanto. We do all the gyms, and as I said earlier on, I was worried about Blaine's Fire Gym. But it was actually a one-shot sweep. This is due to us having to be such a high level to beat Bruno. But anyway, it's now time for Blue. Let me know if you think I can win. As always, Blue leads off with his Pidgeot, and it uses a quick attack as we start a rollout. He lands a second quick attack as the next rollout lands and takes it down. Next is Executor, who is hit with 2 rollouts for the knockout. Next is Arcanine, and we one shot with rollout. Alakazam is next, and we start a new rollout. We hit first and we get a flinch. I don't know if I've said yet, but Max is actually holding the King's Rock. Anyway, another rollout and it's down. Next is Rhydon. We land a weak rollout, not doing much, as he slams us with a super effective Earthquake, leaving us on 46 HP. He then swaps in Gyarados, who gets one shot with a rollout, leaving only Rhydon left. With a souped up rollout, he swaps it back in and we get the win. Next up is Red. Tell me if you think I can win. He leads off with his trusty Pikachu as always, and we miss our rollout. It uses Charm, lowering our attack, so I decide Thunderbolt is the best move for us, and we one shot. Next is Espeon, who's another one shot with Thunderbolt. We then have Venusaur up next, so we land a Thunderbolt, not doing a lot, and it sets up a sunny day as we land another Thunderbolt, taking it down to red health. We then get hit with a Solar Beam as we finish it off with yet another Thunderbolt. Out next is Snorlax. We use Swagger, getting the confusion, and it hits itself as we land a Zap Cannon for the knockout. Next, with Charizard. We use a Thunderbolt and it's a one-shot. Last is Blastoise, and it's another one-shot with Thunderbolt for the win. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm so sorry it's taken me so much longer than normal. But as I said earlier, I've had some real life bits I've had to sort out. But anyway, I'm going to start work on the next challenge very soon. But as always, if you have any ideas, comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn the notifications on. And if you want more Pokemon challenges from me, check out my playlist. The link is in the description below. But until next time, that's King Dong, out.